Okay. Let's see. All right. Happy now. Happy now. This is going to be on live on full moon in Libra. April 1st. Okay. So April 1st. Right now the moon is in Virgo. All right. As I make this video or this live as I go live. Um, Moon being in Virgo. It's making it in conjunction towards the sun and Aries. You know. So that is 150-degree angle. You know. So uh yeah, 150. And then when it gets to uh when it gets to Libra, when the moon transits into Libra, um this is and right before I talk about moon going into Libra, I'm gonna talk about the energies we're actually experiencing right now, because right now it is a March 30th, so we still got March 31st to go through before we get to April 1st, so that's when we'll fully experience that moon in Libra. But for right now, it's just cusping. So this is basically, the little pocket you have to plant seeds and, make the best out of this full moon or manifestations, anything you want, let's say any last emotions you want to put into, you know, the ethers or the waters of the of this realm that we live in, so it's because when the moon goes full, that's like saying that's enough, that's enough energy, or that's it's like saying you can't take no more, right? When you see a full moon, we're paying attention to the moon phases. So this is when they say, are you? This is symbolic for when they say, are you a half half glass full guy, or what's it called? That other shit, empty glass, or what's it called? That's the other half. It's basically symbolic for the moon phases and shit. All these languages, everything that we do is astrology. It's just uh, you know, uh, just in language, So it's just like, yeah. So basically, with Moon being in Virgo right now, this is the last time or the little pocket you have to plant seeds, because Virgo is you know, that worker, or that it can be the nurturer too. But it's just like people can be feeling stress at this point. Maybe like they haven't let's say ma- materialized their manifestations yet. But what I learned today was basically like the the universe, knowing not just what I learned, but this is basically what I basically do, because I know the universe works in a least energy works in a least path of resistance, right? So, this is I embody that, so it's just like I don't, if it's not I bet. I appreciate that, or appreciate love, the real Taylor Maggard for subscribing. I see you. I see you. Okay. What are they saying in here? Okay. Okay. So basically, with Moon being in a Virgo, you want to plant those seeds, right? Because what that's what I'm doing now. Because Moon in Virgo is I'm playing with the energies, right? So I am because Virgo is in my second house, and house Virgo deals with service, and my second house is what I have to offer. This is what I'm doing now. I am breaking down the my gift, what I have to offer to the world, and planting those seeds right now. So, okay, so that's for Moon being in Virgo right now. Okay, but so what to watch out for when Moon gets into Libra, right? So it's just like you are that's when the moon gets full. And how we identify a full moon is when the sun is completely opposite the moon on the transit, you know. So right now the sun is in Aries, and when the moon gets into Libra, that is opposition, a 180-degree angle, for yeah, you know, odds, or let's say it can be it's not really, it's a resting time, basically, you know. So when the moon gets into Libra, the theme is going to be basically let's say, you know, um filling the odds towards let's say be let's say catering for yourself, um no, filling the odds towards filling for relationships, or taking action towards yourself. So it's gonna be a polarizing struggle, so Aries and Libra, right? So you look at this in your chart, uh look at this in your chart where you have Aries and Libra at, and you will find that you will feel like when the moon get there. So for example, I always use me as an example because uh yeah, I just do it like that. So moon being in because I use me an example because I like to be my own astrologer, and that way I can sort of like teach people how to be their own astrologer. But I do open my what's it called, you know have services and shit. But yeah, I try to make it simple. So but if feel free if you want to drop your energies and shit, and I can help you. But yeah, um so with the moon being in a Libra, right? Uh, it's like so Libra being in my third house and Aries being in my ninth house, right? So it's like this is gonna be like a odds towards like being relatable in the surroundings, or cousins, or familiar, could be familiar thoughts, or any thing familiar. And then that's also kind of dealing with the third house, also kind of deal with content, so it's just like it's like that's gonna be more like yeah, having more relate feeling, having a more new insight, you know or falling back, could be falling back, you know and just really appreciating the seeds that I've planted already, and it can be also just be like me uh alchemizing that and giving myself, the recognition, if that if I even want that, so it's just like um basically patting myself on the back, so it's just like you know if nobody see you, you got to see yourself at least, right? So that's and then let me see what else we I think we have because this is gonna be a supercharged full moon, because we also have a Saturn in Aries, right? So this is dealing with um like I said, um having Saturn in Aries, this is basically having, well, let's say this brings like that authority. And when I say Saturn, Saturn is also that crown chakra. So and Aries is the head in medical astrology. So this is like having that, that authority, that authority of governing. I said this years ago, governing your mental, having that government over your mental, so and you can see this where people are waking up. A lot of people are a lot of people are, what's it called? Yeah, a lot of people are actually seeing past, and a lot of things are being unveiled. So and a lot of people can see it and choose to ignore it, but yeah, those who see and act, those are the people who govern their mental, right? So yeah, and don't let the government govern their mental, right? They don't need someone to govern their mental, or they need someone to govern their mental, basically. So yeah. What else? Um, I think we got we got Mercury in Pisces, we got Mars in Pisces. Still, but yeah, mainly this Libra full moon is going to be based off of how you relate, how you balance self and your relationships. How you balance taking time for yourself, or how you balance taking actions towards your desires, and catering or for your relationships, for people, places, and things. you know so yeah. Anybody, if anybody got any questions and shit before I hop out, because I move fast. You gotta catch me when I don't wait for nobody. You know, so uh, anybody got any questions? Um, so yeah, that's gonna be it.